All right, great morning, great morning, great morning, and welcome to the AM Power. My name is Demond Coleman, and I'm very excited and honored to be before you today. For some reason, my ring light is not coming on. Give me 1 second. All right, lights, camera, action. All right, well, great day, guys. Let's see, who do we have in the chat? Great morning, Miss Julie. Great morning, Bridget. Great morning, Kim from Florida. All right. Well, great morning, guys. Drop your city where you're tuning in from or your country. I know we have a ton of Canadians that also get on our AM Power calls. We also have a lot of guests from the Caribbeans. Well, the AM Power call was put together, guys, so that we can grow as a collective. And that growth looks like leadership and leadership development. It also looks like personal development. It also looks like skill set development. And David Nieves, our vice president of sales, has done an incredible job giving us a series, guys, really based on outliers. And that is anything that you do for 10,000 hours, you become a master. And so I also want to follow up by saying or quoting something that you may have heard throughout your life or career in direct sales and network marketing or even leadership development. And that is, you don't have to be great to get started, but you got to get started in order to become great. And what I want you guys to rest assured of this morning is that everyone that you see in the place of influence had to start somewhere. Everything big once started small. There is a guy by the name of Demond Coleman that you're going to be hearing from today. And guys, before he went on to do all these great things in the industry, he did his first presentation. He stood in front of his first group, first audience in his network marketing presentation to have 5 people. He promoted that event to hundreds of people. He bought flights. He spent money. He paid for flights. a lot went into me putting together my very first event, guys. And some of you may have heard this before. It's very heartbreaking, okay, to only have 5 or 6 people to show up. If it was a 6 person, I guarantee it's either my mom or my sister, because they were 2 of my guests. And so, when you look at how we got started and where we got started, it wasn't just this overnight instant success, Kai, Shanley, Sonia, V. It wasn't, and there's levels to everything that we're going to do to get to where we want to be. So when we talk about network marketing and we talk about, top income earners, you hear the word leader or leadership, right? What is a leader? Well, this is not the Webster version in terms of the definition, but a leader is simply someone that others are willing to follow. So if nobody's following you, I don't know if you're a leader. But here's the good news about it. You can start to develop leadership skills so that you become attractive for people to want to follow you. And guys, there are several reasons why people would want to follow you in terms of you being their leader, not their boss, not do as I say, not you got to do it this way. See, I'm a firm believer there is only when it comes to the way, there's only one the way that I personally subscribe to. You can subscribe to whatever the way you decide to, but I believe outside of him, I believe that there is always a way in terms of any and everything that we can accomplish in life. There is a way. Just because Demond did it this way, James did it this way, just because, Tara did it this way, or Brooke did it this way, it doesn't mean that's the way. That means that is a way. And as leaders, we share a way of doing things so that you guys can duplicate a way. because there is a way that James likes to do things. There is a way that Brooks likes to do things. There is a way that David likes to do things, and a way that Alex likes to do things. And what I've become, guys, over my years of business is learning something from Brooke, learning something from David, learning something from James, and learning something from Alex. And then I make it my own. So when you hear me talk about if the liver's not happy, nobody's happy, right? That's a way that Brooke talks about our detox. If mama's not happy, nobody's happy. Well, if the liver's not happy, nobody's happy. So Demond, you sound like a copycat because I am. So there is a way that we can present. There is a way that we can lead. And so this morning, I want to share with you something that I was introduced to many years ago. And what I love about personal development is that it gives us an opportunity to look at us. This is not, wife development, husband development, children development, because a lot of times we get information and we like, well, I wish such and such was here to hear that because they need, I don't know, maybe you're the person that need it, which is why you're the person hearing it, so that you can become the person that you want to see. One of the fastest ways to train and show somebody something is to lead by example. Live what you train. And so if you don't like a certain level of leadership or a certain approach of leadership, then you have the right to become what it is that you want to see. So I'm going to share some slides with you. I was introduced to the 5 levels of leadership by John C. Maxwell. And guys, I don't like PowerPoints. I've never liked PowerPoints, but you know what I do like? I like points of power. So I'm just going to share with you just a few points of power this morning, just because I know some of us are visuals. James, if you can make me co-host so I can screen share. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. All right, let's get to it here. All right, perfect. I'm going to minimize you guys. So I love to see your beautiful faces. Let's see. All right, and let's get this little guy out of the way. There it is. All right, perfect. So there are 5 levels of leadership. And now, if you don't know who John C. Maxwell is, John C. Maxwell is the foremost speaker, author, and coach when it comes to leadership worldwide. Okay. And I'll show you guys some. I don't brag much, but I'll show you a little something. I brag just a little bit different, probably than some folks, but this is John C. Maxwell. And this picture was taken in August of 2023. And that is when yours truly, Demond Coleman, became John C. Maxwell certified in speaking and coaching. And so that is something I absolutely love to do. But anyways, guys, 5 levels of leadership by John C. Maxwell. Level 1 leadership is positional leadership. And it is the lowest form of leadership, but it is a form of leadership. Now, position, you're talking about rights, right? You have the right for people to follow you. People follow you because they have to. Leadership is based on title, not influence, right? And focus is to learn the fundamentals of leadership and earn trust through consistency. That's the level of leadership that you want, okay? To learn the fundamentals of leadership and earn it through trust and through consistency, right? So, what does that look like? Positional leadership. But that's your boss. You know just as well as I know that they are only in that position, they're only in leadership because of that position. Take them outside of that, particular workplace, and guys, they couldn't lead a horse to some water. Okay. So, at the end of the day, some people have titles, and because of the titles, you have to listen to them. And that's no fun, right? People just telling you what to do because they can. Well, a true leader isn't somebody that necessarily tells you what to do. A great leader knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And by default, people are attracted to their leadership style. right? So let's get to level 2 in terms of leadership. Permission. Okay, this is based on relationships. People follow you because they want to. They trust in genuine relationships are key. Trust and genuine are the key, guys. The focus is to listen, connect, and to care. This is how, guys, people will give you permission to lead them. Leadership grows through relationships. People don't know how much they don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. I'll say it again. People do not know, I'm sorry, they don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. And so this is where the service comes into play. A lot of my relationships, guys, that I've been able to build and thank God been able to keep has come through service. I like to serve. I like to show my work. My shake is leaking, guys. I'm sorry, making a mess here. But people they like to be served, right? There's a gentleman that walked this earth, and he became known worldwide, even though he walked the earth 2,000 years ago, because of his level of service, right? Of all the things that we can do for our fellow man, the greatest thing that we can do outside of love is to serve. And if you want to build a relationship with people, find out things that you can do to help them, right? And that's what network marketing is all about. It's about serving. I'm a firm believer you don't earn your way to the top in network marketing. No, guys, you serve your way to the top. How many people are you willing to help us? He said, well, Demond, I just got started. I don't know what kind of leader I am right now. Like, why would anybody want to follow me? I'm just getting started. Why would they even listen to me? Do you know that sometimes leadership just looks like pointing in the right direction, getting out of the way, right? Removing the ego, which, the acronym edging God out of the way, right? Do you know one of the greatest things that you can do is plug people in? Guys, we have Zooms Monday through Friday giving amazing presentations on our products, our compensation plan, the history and the vision and the mission of the company. And people are, I get the compliment a lot. Man, you sound like you've been in this company for a year, man, the way you present the mind. Well, I learned the hard way. See, when you have to if you don't stay ready and you got to get ready every time an opportunity presents itself, you're going to miss out on a lot of money. That's why they say stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Because this is the thing, James Linhart, guys, is a servant leader. But I can't wait for James. James is wearing multiple hats. He's a triple diamond with the company. He's a VP of marketing. I mean, he's more than a VP of marketing. He's the VP of the CEO of the new website development, and all these moving parts, so I can't just wait for James to build my business. And I learned this the hard way in 2010 when I was launching with the company. And the leadership guys, they were doing my Zoom. Well, it wasn't even Zoom launches, it was conference calls. We didn't even have Zooms. And Monday through Thursday, they knocked it out of the park. And I mean, oh my gosh, I'm just eating my popcorn, man, and I'm listening to these phenomenal presenters, and I'm eating my popcorn, and people are signing up and getting started. And man, I'm just enjoying the show. Like, yes, I got the best position. Yes, you guys go ahead. This is awesome. And then Friday came. And then Ed Hartley, may he rest in peace. Ed said, hey, bro, he's so casual, so calm, so collected. Hey, bro, you got the presentation tonight. What? All of a sudden, popcorn getting stale. What are you about to choke? I need some water. What do you mean? Hey, bro, you got the presentation tonight. I said, no, I don't. Man, I don't know how to present this information. Man, like y'all crushing it, dude. I can't present the. He said, hey, bro, no, I got 2 other launch calls. He said, David's not going to be available. He says, so you got a flip chart, right? I'm like, yeah. He said, oh, okay, well, just point and read. Point and read? What? What? I'd already invited. There was no backing out, guys. There was no backing out. But you know what the irony is? In that first presentation I did, and I told you I did all that promoting, and only 5 people showed up. Well, guess what? I didn't have to do a presentation. All I had to do was introduce the speaker, and I didn't even want to do that. But this lady was, oh, she was who she needed to be in my life. But at that time, she was, because what she told me was she's not saying anything unless I go up and open up the meeting and introduce her. And I'm like, man, first of all, I'm livid because only anybody showed up, spent all this money, bought her flight, paid for a hotel, had to buy her one meal. That's how it was back in the day, guys. And some leaders still operate like that. And it doesn't make it's not a bad thing. It's just, we've gotten to levels where we don't necessarily require that. Some of us, however, she required, I bought her flight, paid for a hotel, and bought her one meal. Then I had to drive from Atlanta, had to get to St. Louis, rent chairs, bought little fruit and vegetable trays to have little appetizers. Thank God, good friend of mine let me use a boutique in terms of being able to do the presentation there. Her esthetician clinic, But all this time, I was a master barber and a hairstylist back at that time. So if I wasn't at work, I wasn't making money. So all these sacrifices for 5 people to show up, and now this lady want to tell me I got to open up and speak, and I got her there, but she was like a mule, guys. I think a mule, you hit it hard enough, it'll start to move. I don't think you could hit this lady hard enough. She wasn't moving, she wasn't budging, and here I am, I had to stand up, and I had to open up that event with 5 people, and I was like, hot. Well, second company. Now these guys want me to do a presentation, and I knew they weren't budging. And I said, okay, I've been here before, and so here it is. I'm on this conference call now. Unlike a Zoomer, you can see me right now. Conference calls, you couldn't see anybody, right? And so I'm flipping through these flip charts, and man, I'm trying to get his flip charts and personality as I'm reading, and next thing you know, 20, 25 minutes, it was over and people signed up. Because what I realized is nobody on the other end of this call has this information but me. And nobody could articulate this information better than me, as I got the blueprint right here. And I was so excited. I was believing in what I was doing. Guys, I went from being scared to do a presentation to making my first $1 million in network marketing. First company was Practice. I got up to over $500,000 in that company in 2 years, and here it is. It set me up. Leadership, service, guys. So now I start doing these same launch calls for my team, pointing and reading. And then it get to a point where I might cover one part of the presentation, then they cover part of the presentation. Before you know it, they're covering the whole presentation and I'm moving on to the next person. Guys, I'm working with Michelle Parks right now out of Fort Lauderdale. Okay. I went down there for 3 weeks out of the month of September. And every 3 weeks I went, I did the full presentation. Okay. Everything front to back, except I will ask Michelle or I will ask Opal or Shanielle or another one of the leaders to open up. And that's all they had to do was open up. And here's what I asked them to do in opening up. I asked them to share their name, obviously, how they found out about the company, why they decided to partner with Vital Health, and then their testimonial on the products that they've been using. The testimonials, that's the beginning of the close. We're closing in the beginning, meaning we're collecting decisions in the beginning based on their results. And they did that. They shared their names, how they got started with how they found out about the company, why they decided to partner with Vital Health, and then their testimonial. And then they introduced me. I'll just give them a few points to share about me. They introduced me, and I knocked out the product overview. I knocked out the compensation plan. Well, I'm coming back on the 15th to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where now Michelle is a Sapphire who promoted a Sapphire who now promoted a Silver in her organization, guys. This organization is 6 weeks young and they're rolling. Michelle will be a gold by the end of this month, right? The goal is also to get Opal to gold by the end of this month and get Rosemary, our brand new silver, to get her to sapphire by the end of the month. And of course, we're going to promote some bronze all in between all of this action. And guess what? Opal is about to start doing the same thing. Product overviews. Like, guys, listen, if your business only grows because of you, then that means when you're not around, your business is going to fail. So you practice the service, you start serving, right, your organization, and they will give you permission to lead them. Number three, production. People follow you because of what you have accomplished for the organization. The focus here is to deliver results, inspire performance, and set a standard for excellence. Again, deliver results, meaning they didn't come in this for you to work for you. You ever heard that term? If you build it, they will come. Do you know that some people are not going to follow you? They're not going to allow you to lead them until you show them something. So stop being mad at your mom, your cousin, your brother, your dad, your best friend you grew up with because they haven't signed up with you yet. You haven't given them a reason to, guys. You've been in 5 different programs. So what's the difference about this one? Or you've been an entrepreneur your whole life. What's the difference about this one? Why? What's the difference? Don't take it personal. Guys, and there's a book called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Agreement number 2 says, don't take anything personal, good or bad, right? And so don't take it personal. Give them a reason to follow you. Go out and connect with some new people that you haven't worked with before. Guys, I'd be a black diamond in Vital Health by now had I not been in so many different companies over the last 3 years. But when you go to multiple companies in a short amount of time trying to figure it out because the industry is changing and you don't even realize how it's changing because the owners don't even realize that it's changing. They got to make changes. And by the time you find Vital Health, they're like, Demond, no, I like you, but give me a reason. Produce. Do it without me. Fastest way to build influence with people, guys, is to do it without them. I told James, somebody I just told that's close to me, I just told him the other day, I know I love Vital Health and Vital Health loves me. And this is my God-given purpose and health and wellness aspect of my life because this is the least amount of money I've made in my network marketing career. And I'm planted like a tree, a solid oak, one of them big red trees in freaking Yellowstone Park, been there for 1,000 freaking years. That's me. It took for all of that for me to get here. It took for all the leadership development, all the hard lessons, all of the pain, all of the success. Everything has led me to right here, right now. And I don't have too much pride to build this company brick by brick because it's mission driven, because I personally believe it is the most God-given work that I could do in my life outside of bringing souls to Jesus Christ. The best thing, next thing we could help people outside of spiritual help is to help them with their health. And there is not one company on this planet that I have seen or been a part of in my 17 health and wellness journey, guys, even after owning my own company, that I believe will have the type of impact that we're having and that we're going to have, like what we're doing right here in Vital Health. This is my conviction, which is why I have decided I'm going to build it and they will come. I'm going to build influence without them so that they will come. Yes, guys, production. This is why you can't be afraid to talk to the strangers. You can't be afraid to get in them DMs. I'm not a postmaster, guys. My social media sucks, if I could be completely honest with you. I've never built a business on social media. I built the business on relationships. That's how I built my business. And now I'm out here. I wish I had my cards over here, my follow-ups for today. These are my follow-ups. I got to some of them, but these are from the networking events that I've been going to. I've been going to these health and wellness events that I've been going to, collecting cards, shaking hands, right? Having some quick conversations, little elevator pitches, about what we do here, right? So produce and they will come. That's how another way to develop influence. And number 4, people development, reproduction. People follow you because of what you have done for them personally. The focus here now is to empower others, mentor emerging leaders, and multiply your impact. And I kind of got ahead of myself because part of what I was sharing with you in number 3, when it comes to production, guys, is leadership development. So when I talked about Michelle doing the products when I go back, right? And what she doesn't know is I'm not doing the products when I come back. She is 1000% doing the products. And she might be a little upset with me, or she might be a little disappointed in me, but I can guarantee you after the week, she has 7 events lined up. But when I go back, guys, on I think that's the 14th of November, I'll be there for 3 days, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We always do an event on Friday night, and then we do 2 events on Saturday, and we do one on Sunday, and usually on Monday before I leave. She must have slid in a third one either on Saturday or a second one on Sunday, but I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to work. But guess what? Her team is now going to see her in a different light of service. See, I can articulate the products the way I do, right? Based on my personal conviction. But Michelle has an amazing story based on her use of the products. So her conviction, her cousin Opal's testimonials is also a new conviction that she has. Her sister Shanielle's testimony in the product is a new conviction that she has. And all these convictions come from all these stories that she's been accumulating from the people she shared the opportunity with and the products with, not mine. So I can't say, oh, well, she got to do it like this because I did it like that. Absolutely not. She can't mess up. Well, however she presents the product is how she presents the products. And then she introduces me. I talk about the money, guys, the compensation. I cast a vision in terms of where the company is going, where this organization is going, where we can all go together. And then I give them the options in terms of how they can get started. Okay. In other words, I'm painting a picture. And in my last 2 minutes here, guys, the 5th level of leadership, the highest level of leadership that you can have is pinnacle, that you can acquire, that you can develop yourself into, is pinnacle leadership. And this is based on respect. People follow you because of who you are and what you represent. That's the 5 levels of leadership. And guys, what you do right now is you look at yourself, you look in the mirror, Kai, and you say, what level am I? What level am I? And for everybody that's on this Zoom right now, guys, here's where the level you are if you don't know. Pinnacle. Each and every last one of you. You know why? Because you don't live in the present. You live in your future. And what I want you to do right now, I want you to use your imagination. I want you to live in the wish fulfilled. Neville Goddard teaches on living in the wish fulfilled, meaning go there to that pinnacle place. How are you what does that look like for you, Shanley, when you become a pinnacle leader? What does that look like? The respect you're going to get, the admiration that you're going to get, the service that you're going to provide, the people that you know you've helped develop. How is that going to make you feel? What does it look like? First of all, get the vision in your mind when you reach that level. And then how's it going to feel when you know you're making an impact, V, on all these people's lives, man? Because just in the very beginning, when you didn't know anything about anything, you told them about the calls Monday through Friday. And as you told them about the Zoom launches on Monday through Friday, you were on every last one of them Zooms, taking notes, taking sound bites from all the different presenters, right? When you got on that Saturday training, you didn't know how to, share certain information, but what did you do, man? You pointed the team to the Saturday training. And while the Saturday training was going on, V, you got sound bites. Coach Smile. Sound bites. And now you're taking these sound bites, you're taking this information, and now you turn it into duplication. And now next thing you know, you're doing the launch call for Kai. And she like, boy, you bad. And you like, I knew it. But if you could only meet my success line, and you can only see These other people that I got a chance to learn from. You showing up and they like, man, you just been doing this your whole life. And you like, I just got started. You ain't seen nothing yet. So, guys, that's my time on the AM Power. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this has been very helpful for you. But just know that, again, you don't have to be great in order to get started, but you got to get started in order to be great. And people don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. So find a way to serve and let's watch it grow. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow morning on the AM Power. Have a great day and God bless.